Hi, and welcome back to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today I'm going to be doing kind of a Throwback Thursday review type deal, just because this isn't a brand new storyline. This actually is going to be a review of the complete story of White by Dan Schafer. So a little bit of the history behind why I didn't do any of the single issues was because this comes from a pretty small indie publisher, and well, my store kind of got screwed over when it came to shipping. So they weren't able to get me number 1. They got me number 2, but it was severely damaged, and then they tried giving me number 3. So by that point in time, I hadn't had number 1 or issue 2, and I was like, I don't want to just jump in with issue 3. Can I just get the trade? Because I've heard so many spectacular things about this book. It was something I was super interested in reading, especially after a splash page I saw in a previous catalog where it was just talking about how she was how many hours away from rescue, how many miles away from the nearest plot of land, and she was 10 feet away from this bitch, and there was a huge shark. So I was like, I really want to read it. I like sharks. I've always loved sharks, especially Jaws. I love Sharknado. I love Grizzly Shark. We all know that if you've checked out any of my older stuff. So I definitely was really pleased when I finally got my hands on the trade for White. So there we go. So first impressions, I have to tell you, the art is very gritty and very well done. It looks more like a painting than like your basic crisp comic book art. It definitely leads itself to the emotion that's going on with each part of the story. So starting right on into it, you meet Willa, which Willa is the sole survivor of a pretty horrible plane crash. Well, it was a private jet, so it's not like, you know, a lot of people died or anything, but the fact that it was a private jet and where it was traveling from, it's, well, rescue's not exactly anywhere near, and she's the only survivor, and she has zero survival instincts. She has no real supplies. She is stuck on the wing of this plane with a satellite phone. So she's trying to call all these different emergency numbers. She's getting bounced around from this Coast Guard thing to that training thing until she finally gets redirected to a research vessel known as the Indigo. And she soon finds out that the Indigo's crew are actually in charge of tagging and researching sharks in the nearby area. And she also finds out that she was unfortunate enough to crash land into what is known as the Great White Shark Cafe. So this is one of their high breeding areas, and they're very aggressive throughout here. We get large numbers throughout, and probably the most terrifying part in this is when a large, dominant female named Veronica shows up. Yes, the shark has a name. And I'm trying to find a picture of Veronica in here, because she's a beast. She's freaking huge. So there's Veronica, and there's Willa up there on the wing of the plane. And it's her just trying to survive her on this stat phone. She keeps getting bounced around from this to that. She's being advised what to do. Different things like she has to try to engage the safety raft, which doesn't actually work out, and it ends up getting attacked by a shark, and she's got to get away from the sharks. She does actually get bitten in this, so we deal with her losing a lot of blood. We deal with a lot of the emotional turmoils with her dealing with, am I going to die like this? Should I just take my own life and just end it now? Are these sharks going to eat me? You know, any number of horrible things could happen to this girl to cause her to die out here in the middle of nowhere. And I think one of her biggest fears is no one's going to care because she died in the same plane crash that a movie star died in. And she's just going to be a blip. And she's just going to be something for teenage boys who watch Shark Week to be entertained by. That, you know, no one's going to care if she's actually gone. And it's her just trying to come to terms with her own strength and her own resolve to live. And I really, really don't want to give away too much about this book. Honestly, I feel like this story could lead to a film. I would love to see this be made into a film. I know The Shallows came out last year, and that was fantastic. The Shallows deals with Blake Lively's character, who has medical training, is a trained athlete when it comes to surfing and swimming. She's got a couple different things of gear with her to help her along the way. White, this is an 18-year-old girl who was struggling to make it as a personal assistant, who just crash landed in the middle of shark-infested waters. She deals with several great whites in this, and she's dealing with people on the phone who either don't care enough to help her or are trying to look out for their own well-being over hers. So this is a life or death situation, and she's dealing with people who don't want her to speak to the media. And especially at the very end, she actually gets betrayed by a number of individuals that she'd been talking to throughout the entire story. And I really don't want to give away too much. I really want you guys to go out and to read this book. It's beautiful. It's so well done. This is actually an author, Dan Schaefer is actually an author that I'd never read any of his stuff before, but after reading this, I would really, really like to check out some of his other work. See, here's Veronica eating another great white. Yeah, she eats great whites for breakfast. That's how much you don't want to mess with Veronica. But I mean, this book, it made me care about Willa. It made me truly root for this girl to survive. And I know I've read like certain shark things before. I'm like, I could really care less. This character's an idiot. But you know what? She's struggling to survive. She's dealing with her own emotional turmoils. And honestly, it's beautifully written. The art in this is spectacular throughout. And I feel like this is realistic. This is what the average person would be going through. This isn't like, oh, I'm going to deal with this huge explosion and I have all these different things that I can just figure out. No, the average person is going to think, okay, I'm stuck here. There are sharks everywhere. What the hell am I going to do? Thankfully, she had a satellite phone, so, you know. But I really don't want to give it away too much. It's amazing. I would definitely suggest picking it up if you haven't already. Like I said, The full trade is already out for this, so pick it up, order it from your local shop, or get it on Book Depository. I think Amazon should probably have it. My comic book shop, whatever. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I cannot suggest this book enough. This is amazing. This is definitely going to get a place of honor in my comic book collection. I'm definitely keeping this. So yeah, give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you've read White and if you enjoyed it as much as I did. Subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of my older videos I have up for offer here on Cat Run Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.